Hello and welcome to the magnificent surroundings of Rochdale Town Hall. My name is Matthew Bannister and I'm the host of the Folk on Foot podcast, and I'm delighted to be joined by Lidette Faye to host this very first Folk Album of the Year Award Gala.
Woohoo!
Hey!
Delighted to be here, Matthew. Banachtain na Féile Padraigart. Very happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
And the same to you, and I'm glad you're spending it with us.
Well, I had to because I am a juror. I'm on the jury, and we had the very, very difficult task of choosing a winner this afternoon. There were a couple of hours of deliberations, debates, and discussions. They're all sitting right here in front of me. I want to say it was heated, it was robust, it was all of those things, but yeah, it was really, really difficult. But I think we have 9 fabulous nominees, and the winner will be announced a little later on.
But before that, we have the amazing prospect of performances from all 9 of those performing artists. Just to remind you, they are Barry Kerr for Curlew's Cry, Cynefin for Shimley, Edith Wyutonga for Varipassi, Gig Spanner Big Band for Turnstone, Grace Stewart Skinner for Ockis Spickin Ocky, Joshua Burnside for Teeth of Time, Peggy Seeger for Teleology, Poor Creature for All Smiles Tonight, and Spafford Campbell for Tomorrow Held.
Yeah, as you can hear, so much love in the room here in Rochdale for all of those nominated albums, but we're going to get things underway. Brilliant live performances this evening on the show. And first up is a brilliant musician, a multi-instrumentalist, no less. He's a songwriter, a singer, a visual artist as well, and he's very much inspired by the landscape and people of his native County Armagh, just on the shores of Lough Neagh there in the north of Ireland, where he grew up. Please welcome Barry Kerr.
Thanks a million on that.
Huge congratulations on your nomination for the Curlew's Cry, your latest album. And the Curlew takes on a specific significance on this album. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I suppose I tried to use the Curlew as a metaphor, I suppose, for what is happening to our natural world around us at the moment. It's under a lot of pressure, and not least Lough Neagh, where I grew up. So I thought it was a good starting point for to write a few songs, and also that the Curlew holds a big significance in Irish folklore. It's kind of seen as a bird of omen and, you know, foreboding, and a lot of that is reflected in the lyrics, I suppose, of the album. So.
And can you tell us a little bit about the other themes that you explore on the album as well?
It's very much connected to place and how we relate to place, and especially in folklore and in our culture and our day-to-day lives. And a lot of it is, you know, it relates to things that inspire me, whether it be the ocean, whether it be the landscape, whether it be the animals and the birds. You know, it all came together very neatly, you know, in a sense. And I had a lot of songs to choose from, and I think that the songs that ended up there, you know, they kind of flow into each other. You know,
yeah. It works as a body of art and a body of music. And you've recently just moved from, well, you've moved around a wee bit, but you're a native of Armagh. That'll always be close to your heart. But you're living now in Connemara, in the Gaeltacht, in the heart of the Irish-speaking area of the west of Galway. And has that brought another dimension to your connection with landscape and nature?
It really has. You know, Connemara is a very special place, as you all know. And where I live, there's a great sense of community as well around the music and dance and singing and language, and it's just a great place to make work and paint and sing songs.
Yeah, painter, singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist. Yes, Barry Kerr has it all, and thankfully we're going to hear him perform now, performing 2 songs from his nominated album, The Curlews Cry. First up, She Knows Things. Barry Kerr.
Of limestone, gathering garlands of herbs. She knows things long forgotten by you and your kin, secrets well hidden and cherished within. She knows things. By moonlight and foresight, she travels a dark night, smiles by flickering flame. At firelight dancing, old songs chanting, drawing down the moon. She knows things long forgotten by you and your kin, secrets well hidden and cherished within. She knows things. Listen to the waves. Tell me, what do they say? Sage by the sea, won't you dream for me? See her in the morning, among dewdrops adorning a land that whispers her song. In hedgerow and meadow, on hillsides of limestone, gathering garlands of herbs. She knows things long forgotten by you and your kin, secrets well hidden and cherished within. She knows things. Listen to the waves. Tell me, what do they say? Sage by the sea, won't you dream for me? Winterfell have left us. They haven't come this year. No midnight swans are calling. Those lovers lost, I fear. No plover is a nesting. The bog has gone to plough. The crying of a curlew is but a memory now. No long lines set at evening in my cot with salmon sky. No trout or reel for morning meal. The the catchet has gone dry. Those ghosts will haunt our children, wailing in the night. A distant cry from times gone by, an omen of our plight. For who will heal the waters of our sacred holy well? Not landlord, thief, or absentee, with nothing left to sell. But I have a premonition when we call upon our own to hear on high a Cornew's cry and remember where we're from, to restore this wondrous garden, our connection to the earth, to rid the need for waste and greed, and know what we are worth.
That was Barry Kerr with songs from his Folk Album of the Year nominated album, Curlew's Cry. And before we hear from our next artist, I just wanted to fill you in on how this award has been organised. It's a partnership between Folk on Foot, Sound Roots, and the Rochdale Development Agency. And we've had a very distinguished panel of artists, writers, broadcasters, and promoters who had the unenviable task of whittling down the 146 albums that were entered to a nominated shortlist of 9. And steering them along the way was the chair of the jury, Kelly Weil, who joins me now. Kelly, come and join me. Hello. Was it a really difficult and challenging process right from the start?
Incredibly difficult, really hard, as Lynette said earlier on. I mean, there was the first round where we had nearly 150 albums to get down to just the 9 nominees that we hear this evening, and then today, as Lynette said, we've had a couple of hours discussing, talking about, everything to do with these, and each piece of work, I have to say, as you will know if you've heard them, is absolutely exquisite, and they're all so different, so it's really hard to...
So the debate went right down to the wire this afternoon, didn't it?
It certainly did, and, it's fantastic today to be among such a brilliant group of people for whom music is such a core part of their life. We have journalists, broadcasters, music promoters, whoever, but it all stems, all of our careers stem from a love of music. And to have that amount of knowledge and passion in one room was really amazing. But yeah, impossible to pick one. And as you said earlier, the 9 nominations, the point of all this, isn't it, is to shine a spotlight on the diversity and incredible breadth of folk music that we have in Britain and Ireland, and I think the team's done that.
Yeah. And have you learnt anything yourself from the process?
I have. I've learnt that, we can try to put into words why we are drawn to a particular artist or a particular album. We can try and talk about technical proficiency or originality of arrangements, but ultimately, the albums that prevailed as the favourites as we were chatting today, they're just the ones that you want to put on and you want to listen to again and again and again. And that is really as basic as it is. That's what it's about, isn't it?
Well, you're sitting on that secret for a bit longer. Will you come back later on and open the envelope or announce the winner for us?
I'd love to.
All right, Kelly.
All right.
For the moment, thank you very much indeed.
Okay.
Kelly Weil.
Yes, indeed. Kelly might have another career in the diplomatic corps, given that she has chaired the discussions so brilliantly and eloquently as well. I'll just let you in on that little secret. But now our next nominated album comes from a young Scottish cláraiseach or harp player, Grace Stewart Skinner. And when she found an old recording of her grandfather reading a poem in the distinctive dialect of the Black Isle fishing village where he lived, she just made a decision that this dialect must not be allowed to die out. So she went to the village of Och and recorded some of the residents just having conversations about their everyday lives. And then she set them to music, and the result is an extraordinarily creative album. And here to perform songs from Ochi Spican Ochi, please welcome Grace Stewart Skinner and her band.
Would you call it dialect, would you? Or sort of Yorkie sort of way of speaking, would that have been understood by people further east?
No.
Like along, no?
No, that was the thing. That was why it was always kept on and heavily kept at sea when they started using VHF radios. It was always said that no one could understand the Ochis.
Right, okay.
And that was a big thing about it. But what they did...
I'm born and bred Ochi Lake, so I realised that I had to be a fisherman in a way, and so. If you had to be a fisherman, you'd have to speak Ochi because it was no good getting in the alley that you were in if you couldn't speak Ochi because it was Ochi, it was weird. They were all for the same village. There was nothing spoken but Ochi. If there's anybody out with the Ochi clan, like, they had a hard job getting a word Utesh.
There's no many laddies get the fishing out of the village.
No.
And they be at all.
No.
Get the sea.
No young people at all.
No. Very few.
Yeah.
Things have changed an awful lot now. We started working first. Really big changes, and in the Och dialect as well.
Grace, congratulations on your nomination. I just wanted to take a moment to ask you a few questions about the inspiration for the album, and in particular, your grandfather's poem and how that started the whole thing off.
Yes, so my Bubba wrote two poems, like in this very special dialect, and that was like years and years ago. Then sadly he died about 10 years ago now, but thankfully somebody recorded him and captured these really good poems, and that just got me thinking, it set me off on this. Yeah.
Why did you think it was so important to keep this dialect going?
Well, there's so many small dialects, like all over Scotland, but like the UK. But sadly, they are getting washed like away with just modern times. There are only like a handful of people who still use this dialect. Like I just wanted to capture it in its most like authentic way.
What did they say when you said that you wanted to come and record them?
They thought that like I was crazy and they didn't really know why. And to be honest, like at that point, like I didn't really know what I was going to do. And then the whole thing grew arms and legs, and now we're here.
And it's a bit of a family affair as well, because I think you got your dad to write a poem. Is he a poet? Is he somebody who writes poetry?
No. So to compliment Bubba's poems, I wanted my dad to write something for the album. My dad is a very Highland man who does not write poetry, but he wrote a truly gorgeous poem, which I'm very happy about, because I had no idea what he was going to do. So, yeah.
Well, great. So it'd be lovely to hear some more music from the album. Congratulations on your nomination, and let's hear another track from Oki Spikin Oki. Grace Stewart Skinner.
This is just a wee poem about the herring fishing that used to take place in McCrombie, Inverness and Bewley Firths. And this is done in the local Och dialect. Here we go, and hope for the best, folks. It is September in Och, and you can hear the men a lot. It's Keswick time, the fishers' time, the boats will soon be coming in. The appearance here is grand to see the Solans diving in the sea. They're up and down o'er the firth, the yawls are steaming for a berth. The meter's on, they're black as tan. I bet you this is where they are. If that's all hiding, there's no doubt the time that we was pitching out. We're sheeting now, the mark's dark brown. Somebody yells, the bows can doon. We Eiley's on, we all are up. I think we'll have plenty with this step. We're hauling up no butt be butt, there isn't a cran in it. We're sharp and fine, they blow the horn. We'll get them in as quick as we can. Then next will haul the skipper yells, that's on our boys. And Sammin calls, the quota's in our eye and there, it's time that you was out of heat. Call up some boat as quick as you can. I'm steaming there, that's Sandy Vaughan. He must have heard he's flashing now. Stand by, boys, to louse the bow. He's coming to you and tell the crew the kind of fishing you know. That's fine as they were talking last time, just Skinner war. We're steaming up with quite a speed. The tides we has, that's what we need. The nets are up, the derrick tee, a Larry waiting in the quay. We have them out within an hour. Lux wears the neck for shoe. There's no other boat in sight. The heather must have taken fright.
A brilliant performance there from Grace Stewart Skinner and her band friends here in Rochdale Town Hall as part of the inaugural Folk Album of the Year Awards Gala. And now, making her way to the stage, can we please welcome the legendary Peggy Seeger. And her son, co-conspirator, producer Callum McCall. Lovely to see both of you. I suppose we've gone from an artist now who's starting out in her career to an artist who has had a long and illustrious career, Peggy. And you celebrated your 90th birthday there last year.
I'm only 16.
You stick into this one. I think it's this microphone's for your chat, Peggy. Do you want to take it? You have it. We'll be here all night. Don't mind us. Don't mind us. It's not every day you get a chance to have a conversation with Peggy, and it's always wonderful to get a chance to talk to you. So tell me about this album. Congratulations on the nomination. It's very much a family affair.
Well, extraordinary. I was going to go into it later when I'm talking about one of the songs, but we've done it now. So yes, my son Callum, he produced it, directed it, and we were not mother and son, we were two musicians working together, which is extraordinary. Wonderful job. And yes, songs made with my children, and my daughter designed the packaging. I don't think there was anybody in the family who was left out of it. Yeah.
Did it by choice, or did they didn't have a choice?
That's a good question. I didn't...
No choice.
Well, they didn't ask to be born, so I suppose there was no...
Oh, that's always a thing with you. You never know what the response is going to be. It's brilliant. On the album, you sound so confident and clear in your messaging. Did that come because you're making something with your family and that you were feeling confident in yourself because of that?
Well, Callum told me every time I wasn't working properly. And it was fantastic, you know, to be directed by an expert. It was extraordinary. Because usually I directed myself, and if the words and the music were there, I didn't even notice whether it was, you know, so it was family.
And in terms of themes, though, very on point. You know, you're reminding us that compassion is so important in every aspect of our lives.
Absolutely. It's a shame we need to be told.
Yeah. Well, you remind us very well on your album, may I say. Something you also remind us of is the power of a particular song, which has been with you for an awful long time, and you re-recorded it for the album again. That's the first time ever I saw your face, written for you by your late husband.
Well, that's what he said,
McCall.
anyway.
Is that what he said when he sang it down the phone to you?
Well, we were estranged at the time, and if you want somebody to write a song about you, just say, "I'm leaving you."
Fabulous advice. And there's a few phone calls going to be made here this evening now, Peggy, and it's all your fault. That song, like, you've sung it so many times. What does it mean to you now when you perform it? Because we will hear it this evening. Sorry, I've just let the cat out of the bag, but...
Okay, well, I have 2 life partners, one male, one female. And when I sing it to both of them.
Oh, well, that's lovely. Yeah, because that's what love is. It evolves. It's ever evolving. Life is ever evolving, and we learn so many lessons as we go along, and we've learned so many from you, Peggy. I will let you take your seat for your performance. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lynette.
You're very welcome, Peggy. Lovely to talk to you. Performing 2 songs now from the nominated album Teleology, Peggy Seeger and Callum McCall.
There ain't no hiding from your family up here. Have you washed behind your ears?
I want to meet Paul Simon. I want to be his pal. He can call me Mama. I would call him Al. I'm driving down this highway on another working day. After all these years, slip sliding away. After all these crazy years, slip sliding away. I've got 50 ways to meet him. I will bring the wine. I got parsley, sage, and rosemary, but I'm running out of time. Still driving down this highway, singing an American tune. Sail on, silver girl, you'll be in Graceland soon. Silver girl shining on, I'll be in Graceland soon. When it's late, late in the evening, I hear you once again, singing through the silence where a song can be a friend, where peace can be the river that takes us to the sea. We're heading for the Mardi Gras, Julio and me. Cecilia's coming with us, I hope she won't forget. We're going to meet Paul Simon, he just doesn't know it yet. We're going to meet Paul Simon, he just doesn't know it yet. The train that's in the distance runs through my heart and bones. The future is in black and white, the past in Kodachrome. With diamonds on my shoes and a necklace made of tears, I think I met Paul Simon after all these years. I think I've known Paul Simon all these crazy years. Wish he wanted to meet me. If you want a peaceful life, don't get old. Yes. How many times have I sung this? Probably about 4,563. The first time ever I saw your face, well, now did I do this? I did. I always play in C because it's easy on my arthritic hands. But I can't sing it in C. No grand piano can do what this does. I press a button and it goes down to A flat. Press a button and I might be 89 again. Oh, I'm a smart ass. The first time ever I saw your face, I thought the sun rose in your eyes, and the moon and stars were the gift you gave to the dark and empty skies, my love. To the dark and empty skies. The first time ever I kissed your mouth, I felt the earth move in my hand. My trembling heart, like a captive bird, was there at your command, my love. That was there at my command. The first time ever I lay with you and felt your heartbeat next to mine. I thought our joy would fill the earth and last till the end of time, my love, and last till the end of time. The first time
I'm feeling a little bit emotional, I have to say. That was the most extraordinary moment. The great Peggy Seeger and her son, Callum McCall. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you. We have a change of style and background now as we celebrate the music of Edith Wyutonga. She was born in Zimbabwe and is a leading figure in the fight for musicians' rights in that country. But now she lives and works in the UK, and I'm delighted to say that she's here with us in Rochdale to perform songs from her nominated album, Vari Passi. Here's Edith. Just taking a moment to get set up. I should say that Edith is known as Mama Bass, because that's her instrument. You all set?
I think so.
Okay. Edith Wyutonga.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mama Bass from Zimbabwe. And this is the bass. Don't I look lovely? This is the Shona traditional dress, reimagined and designed by a very good friend of mine, a tribe called Zimbabwe.
Zimuraganirera nzimbuya Muti wakandirera ndiyambuya vangu Ari yakandibika yakandirera ndiyambuya vangu Amazulu Ambuya kandi notenda Zanetsa, Zanetsa. Fukama una mateiwe, urongene rodo, ambuyaka, zinotenda. Ambuyaka, zinotenda. Ambuyaka, zinotenda. Ambuyaka, zinotenda. Usaturere chakaipa, torera rudo, rudo, rudo. Besa ya ubyala mwananga, ikale besa ya bwindo. Besa ya ubyala mwananga, ikale besa ya bwindo. Wote ukolole, ukolole za bwindo. Kolole, kolole, besa ya bwindo. Ambuyaka, zinotenda. Ambuyaka, zinotenda. Ambuyaka, zinotenda. Ambuyaka, zinotenda. Ambuya, zikomo amazulu, zikomo.
It is lovely to see you, and congratulations on the nomination. I wonder if we could just hear a little bit about the themes of the album, the inspiration for the album.
Well, the themes are all derived from Zimbabwean traditional folk music. You hear the mbira, which I couldn't play here as I play the bass, so Taffy did a very good instrumentation there. So mbira
So
is
the
this-
mbira is the kind of thumb piano?
the thumb piano, and it's a Zimbabwe traditional instrument. And all the tunes and the melodies that we created for this album are derived from the Zimbabwean folk music and modes of traditional music.
And your grandmother is at the heart of one of the songs, isn't she?
So this song that we've just performed was composed for my grandmother. I was in the UK, just arrived, and lockdown happened, and she passed on, and I couldn't go home. So when you listen to the track on the album, you start to hear her voice speak because she had been interviewed for my thesis. And I had a very long, writer's block for a long time. And then I composed this song 2023, recorded it 2024. And I guess the time was now to release it.
And you told me about the way in which you heard that you'd been nominated for this award. How did you get the news?
I was in South Africa for a conference, I think, and I just got back because I suddenly submitted the application last minute. And then the news came. I think it was midnight when I checked my email. And I saw the email, and I had to, rub my eyes twice. And I said, no, this is not happening. I got off the bed, and I was running around the house. I said, no, it's not possible. And my husband said, but it is. It's happening. And I'm really honored, honestly. I'm just so honored.
And you've collaborated with some amazing musicians on the album. Do you want to just introduce some of them?
Right. On the marimba is my senior in uni. Her name is Tafadzwa. Tafadzwa was in uni before I did, and she plays marimba. She's an amazing vocalist and music therapist. And on the keys, we've got Trust. Trust is trust, can be trusted, plays the keys, and is an amazing musician.
You can depend on him.
You can depend on him. And then on the drums, we've got young Isaac. You know, I call him my son. Isaac is very innovative. You can see he's got a laptop on him. He says, you know what, if your hands cannot do this, we'll loop them and we'll make it happen. That's Isaac. And then on my left is the amazing Luke Rattenberry. I met Luke last year, and you know, you send something to Luke and he plays it as if he was there. And he's based in Brighton, and Luke is just amazing. We love having him.
Well, it's great to have you all here. Would you play us another song? Yeah. Edith Wyutonga.
I'll probably need to put something down here.
So much power and soul and connection there in that performance from Edith Wyutonga and her band, friends. Amazing. And those tracks from her nominated album, Varapasi. Still to come with performances from Joshua Burnside from Cynefin, Spafford Campbell and the Gig Spanner Big Band. And we will reveal the overall winner of the inaugural Folk Album of the Year award. But we are going to reset the stages, take a little break, and we will be back soon. Slán go fóill. And we're out.
Welcome back to Rochdale Town Hall, where excitement is mounting as we await the announcement of who has won the title Folk Album of the Year 2025. We have 4 more live performances before that happens. And I'm joined now by 2 of the jury members who've been working so hard to listen to all the many albums that were entered. They are the Welsh musician and broadcaster Georgia Ruth and Rob Cowan, the award-winning author of Common Ground and The North Road. Georgia, I wonder if you would just say a few words about the process from your perspective. How did you find it?
It's been an amazing process. We've been discussing it today as judges and kind of trying to remember that very first moment where we kind of embarked on this exploration of music and listening. And for me, personally, it's just been very emotional. And tonight is sort of a culmination of all of those emotions. And I've just been struck by how much music is being made and how incredible musicians are. So yeah, it's been fantastic.
What amazing talent there is out there. Rob, did you hear music that you'd never heard before?
A lot. Yeah, I mean, I just said to Edith that, you know, we had the pleasure of this kind of process, Georgia and I, at the beginning, but just listening over and over and over again to these albums that we hadn't been on our radar. And then suddenly, my entire kind of horizon opened with the kind of music that's available here, around here. And honestly, there was 150 albums that were put forward, and all of us felt, you know, any one of those albums could have been here. So to just be here tonight is such an honor for us, but for everybody who's been nominated and been shortlisted and everything else. It's just such a great example of the breadth and quality of music.
And breadth is the word, isn't it? Because that's one of the things that struck me, Georgia, is the whole range of different styles that we heard in listening to the albums.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I feel like I've learnt so much from the musicians during this process, you know, how music can be so different, and yet it doesn't really matter how it's made. There's just that kind of connection that you get. Yeah, it's been fantastic. I'm kind of out of words, really.
Do you think you listen differently, being a musician yourself? Do you think you listen differently from people who are not musicians?
I don't know, but I know that as a musician, I've kind of just been so inspired listening. And, you know, you hear little production elements and you think, oh, how did they do that? And there's a kind of inventiveness to all the albums here tonight that is just incredibly inspiring. So yeah, on a personal level, yes, super inspired.
Was it hard to decide on the winner this afternoon, Rob?
Yes, it was a bit tough. But we spent a lot of time talking, and any one of these albums could have been a winner, and it would have been a noble winner. So we just had to go off the gut. But yeah, I just think, you know, you just heard Peggy play, you know? I mean, it's irresistible, this music. Edith played, these guys played, you know, honestly, Barry, just the whole sound that's being created here. I mean, you're very lucky this is your first Folk Awards, because I don't think it's going to get any better than this, you know?
Oh, I hope.
But we had a richness, and we had a richness of discussion. And really, it came down to a few things: time, place, history, memory, what we all felt that had this resonance that went beyond just the song, but actually echoed in all of us like a struck bell, you know? It just rang. And there were a few albums that did that, and we just had to narrow those down and agree that the one that did that the most for us.
Well, we'll reveal all later, but for the moment, Rob, Georgia, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Now, Joshua Burnside, he hails from Belfast and he's known for weaving together many different influences from traditional Irish folk to music from right around the world. And he's here to perform tracks from his acclaimed and Folk Award nominated album, Teeth of Time. Please welcome Joshua Burnside.
Marching round the ladies, marching round the shore, marching round the ladies as you have done before. In and out of windows, in and out the door, in and out of windows as you have done before. Stand and face your lover, stand and face the shore, stand and face your lover as you have done before. Whisper in the garden, whisper on the road, whisper in the garden where the elderberry grows. Write to him in Paris, write to him in France, write to him in Paris where the ladies learn to dance. Follow him up to Glasgow, follow him up the shore, follow him up to Glasgow where they drink till 3 or 4. Chase him back to Belfast, chase him out the door, chase him back to Belfast as you've done before. In and out of windows, in and out the door, in and out of windows as you have done before. Da-dee-do-dum, da-da-do-dee-do-da, da-dee-do-dum, da-da-dee-do-dum, da-da-dee-dum, da-da-dee-dum, da-dee-dum, da-da-dee-do-dum. Marching up the Shankill, marching up the falls. It doesn't matter where you're from, the Tories fuck us all. Bring me wine and porter, send me off to bed. Bring me wine and porter for the noise inside me head. Stand and face your lover, stand and face the shore, stand and face your lover as you've done before. Whisper in the garden, whisper on the road, whisper in the garden where the elderberry grows. Da-da-dee-do-da, da-da-dee-do-dum, da-da-dee-do-dum, da-dee-do-dum, da-da-dee-do-dum, da-dee-do-dum, da-da-dee-do-dum, dee-da-dum-dee.
Thank you so much. That was a wee Belfasty song about the Shankill Road and the Falls Road and conservative politicians. I have nothing against them. Anyway, this next one is called Up and Down, and it goes like this.
Up and down we're going nowhere fast. We sit and wait and wonder when will come our chance. Washing all the dishes and and waiting for the bus. Time moves awfully slowly, then suddenly it's up. And death is deep and empty, but forever isn't long. Some will make 100, some not even one. I sing in the kitchen, sometimes in the hall. Some sing when they're lonely, and some don't sing at all. I drink in the evening, and sometimes in the day. There's spirits in the ether, and bones under the clay. Lamb in the distance, and fiddles in the pub. Summer's almost on us, and summer's almost done. Well, I thought I had it all sussed out, but I'm not sure, to be honest. Well, I'm mostly okay. Well, today I'm not quite right, to be honest. There's kids down at the Hollow, and some at City Hall. Some kids are familiar with guards and prison walls. War is in the distance, and war is at the door. But our heads are up the chimney, and our feet under the floor. And death is bright and booming, lighter than a wren, and softer than a newborn when life begins again.
Joshua Burnside, Up and Down. You know, Joshua, there is so much of yourself, your personal experience of life poured into these songs, so much incredible honesty, and you take us just into your world. And I did wonder, with the success of Teeth of Time, how does it sit with you that these songs are connecting deeply with audiences, that your experience is making that connection?
Yeah, I mean, that's the real joy of playing the songs, especially live. Get people coming up to you after the gig and being like, I just had, you know, my first child or whatever, and I really relate to Sleepless Nights and that song, The Good Life or whatever, and it's a real buzz. There was a guy who came over from Texas to see me play in Cardiff or something, and he left his wife, their 1-year-old, and she was pregnant. And she was due to give birth in a few weeks.
Right.
And he said, I've come to see you play. And I was like, you really should not be here. You should probably be home. I just really relate to those songs, man.
Yes.
But
that was the right answer there, Joshua, by the way. And you know, also the themes. You know, the first song there we heard, the ladies marching. You know, sectarianism, climate change, technological anxiety, war, death. You know, you're not afraid of the big themes. And all those big themes explored in this album. And you say that it is your happiest album yet, Joshua? You find happiness amongst all that?
Yeah, I mean, I think because it's centered around new life and becoming a dad and there's sort of you have to sort of become an optimist and start trying to challenge the things that you see around you that are wrong in the world when you become like before. I think I've been guilty of being a bit of a nihilist and being like, everything's fucked, so what's the point kind of thing, attitude before. And then when you become a parent, you're like, I actually can't do that. I actually have to try and fight to make the world a better place for my son. So I hope that's what comes across in the record.
Going from being a bit passive to a bit active. And also then, I wondered though, you say that you find that voice. Remind us all though, you have a new album coming out. What's the title?
It's called It's Not Going to Be Okay.
Joshua, I think we can firmly say Joshua is on message tonight. It's not going to be okay. So Teeth of Time is now nominated for the inaugural folk album of the year, and another album imminent. It's
Friday.
It's this Friday. This Friday. There you go, folks. So this is an appetizer. This is Happy. Is the other one happy? Is the new one happy?
No, it's awful.
It's awful.
It's not happy at all.
Joshua, as always, it's just great to talk to you. Thanks so much for being here, and congratulations on your nomination. Joshua Burnside.
We're off to Wales now as we meet the artist called Cynefin, which is the performing name of Owen Shires. His album Shimley is steeped in the historic agricultural practices of his native Ceredigion. He even puts his money where his mouth is by farming his own oats. So please welcome Cynefin.
Noswaith, good evening. We're going to take you on a two-song tour of Ceredigion now, starting with a song which was inspired by my meetings with a chap called Caradog Jones, who died last year. He was 96, ripe old innings, and he used to be a bailiff on the River Tavy, and his job was to catch the poachers back in the day on the River Tavy. But to know the mind of a poacher, you had to have been a poacher. So they all knew each other anyway. They're all in cahoots. So this is pryd y pochwr, and pryd in Welsh means time, but it can also mean the meal. So the time of the poacher or the meal of the poacher.
Cawr ar y geilan, y wyneb dangyd, y ffagaw yn ni'n llaw, y gaffal y llif, yn droed noeth yn crefian, ddisnaw trwy'r gro, a pysgodyn damleti yn os. Canlyn yr hadref, y samser cyn coch, y samwn yn rhedeg, y fyny o'r môr, mae'r bechgen yn delen, yn weithio fel tîm, i ddianc o'r bailiff saddle yn ei teulu. Pan o'r lloer i ac yn ddydd tra'n lliw nos. Glangion es i'r wawr, o benni pryd y pajwr, o benni pryd y pajwr. Mae bywyd yn galed, ac arian am dyn, ac am
gilydd o sefyll mewn cwrt yn bachu pysgodyn o'r ddylrw. Bu digon i borthi trigolion bob bro a boen o holl lenden o dywed bob sôn ond myni i erlyd na'r lamod sgilni a bobl anghenus ar lynnau teulu. Traffer sydd o'r law tra bo ni yn lladru'n tir. Digon bydd y braw i achub bryd y bodsiwr, o achub bryd y bodsiwr, o achub bryd y bodsiwr. Digwydd cael gweled yn addo neu ryd y samwn yn neidio peidiwch da chwi a chymryd heb angen mor fregus nawr sydd y pysgod sy'n rhedeg i'r amont ei fi. Y pysgod sy'n rhedeg i'r amont ei fi. Yeah, thank you. This next tune is, well, we heard one about a curlew earlier from Barry Kerr. This is about the lapwing, or the corncyll. There's quite a few names for the lapwing in Wales. Corncyll, Cornchwiglen, Hen Het, which means old hat. Not because they look like old hats, but because I think they go, and it sounds a bit like old hat. Hen Het. And this song was inspired by my visit to Ynys Hir Reserve, which is just down the bottom of the valley where I live. And the lapwings do this amazing aerial display in the spring, about this time of year. And there's a reservation down there. And they fly pretty high, and then they turn, and you think they're going to hit the ground, and then they change at the last minute. And yeah, their state is quite perilous now. And I go down with my friend Ben, who's an avid bird watcher, and just go and watch them. It's amazing, really. Also semi-inspired by a poem by Dick Jones, one of our most celebrated folk poets, Beirdd of Glad. So here it is.
beside our kind in twy bob un yn droelli uwch y dreithell noeth a dwy fol awyr le o dacw nhw ai ar ein chwym yn glanio gyr a stwr o criw o hyn byn sianwyr ffraith yn glebran wrth y dŵr ac eto meiddio eto'n hel y dyfroedd o wastad maith gweithio'r giaf garw oer am olyr ar ei taith. Dyna nhw hen hynod li heb un yn dangos Sian a gwelsant gysgod canydd nawr ar hyd y dyrwydd ymlaen o amba hyd y gwelwn ni ei hediad bywiog hyd ymhebrwn trwy y herlof moer gynhadon gwyn ei byd mae'n aso mae byrbydd dro ei mawrydd yn ein plith ond callach yw y corn a cyll na sŵn ein gwewyr chwyth.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, lovely to see you, and congratulations for single-handedly reviving the lost art of whistling. Sounded absolutely brilliant. We first met on a walk up the River Cleta, and I was absolutely delighted to walk with you for Folk on Foot because you weave together this web of language, landscape, history, and place. And place is very important to your music, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, speaking to
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can separate them really. I feel like the language itself comes from the place. It sort of embodies the place, the sounds, and the music itself. I think there's something quintessential between that connection. And it's hard to explain really, but I don't think you can separate them out.
And also you look at the history of particularly agriculture in this album is an inspiration, isn't it?
Yeah, I think because where I grew up is very agricultural and is very much part of the way of life, and so many of the sort of places where culture happens are associated with agriculture or involve farmers. You know, it's not unusual to have farmers dressed in tux singing Verdi in West Wales. You know, it's part of the culture really. So yeah, I don't think you can't separate them out.
And I sort of get a sense of you as somebody who berries around looking for the people who bear the stories that are going to inspire your songs, that they often come from individuals that you've met.
Yeah, and it's funny, I think you just have this kind of radar on and then you meet someone and you're like, you're interesting, I want to, learn more about you, and I just go and hang out with them really, and you have to get to know them as well. It's not like, mining information, it's just getting to know them and then slowly the stories come, and yeah, it's a pleasure.
And why do you think it's so important that we still treasure and perform this kind of heritage?
Well, I think we're living in a very interesting time. The pace of change, is so quick now. I don't think we're really able to come to terms with the consequences as it's happening. It's only afterwards that we realize, oh, we've lost something. And so I guess if you can see that happening a bit, maybe you can do something about it. But yeah, as my dad would say, we're suffering from improvements. And sometimes, you need to just take care a bit more and make sure we safeguard these things.
Well, congratulations on an amazing album. Ladies and gentlemen, Cynefin.
friends, today is St. Patrick's Day, and I thought it might get a bigger cheer than that, so we'll try it again. Today is St. Patrick's Day. Some of us have made extra special effort to be here, and it's been a wonderful week for Ireland because we went from the high of Jessie Buckley winning the Oscar for Best Actress, and that was a big win for Killarney, County Kerry. But then, in the week that has been an emotional roller coaster, we felt the low and the heavy-hearted low last night when we learnt of the death of Dolores Keane. And she's a legendary Galway singer, known for her solo work. The Seminum album she recorded with the likes of John Faulkner, her involvement with Jidanan, of course, and A Woman's Heart. How could we forget those remarkable recordings she made as part of that project as well? There was something really, really special about Dolores's voice, and it really cut through and it connected. I think it was just the raw energy she brought to a song and the singing of a song and her interpretation. And she has left her mark on many, many generations, it has to be said. So we send our love to her family this evening, her friends, and everyone who knew her. Suivna Sherry Dahanam Uasal. And we stay in Ireland now where, as I'm sure you'll all be aware, there's a massive flourishing of creativity in recent years in the traditional music scene, especially led by the likes of Lancome and Landless and John Francis Flynn, Lisa O'Neill, and the list, thankfully, goes on and on. And the latest manifestation has brought together Ruth Clinton of Landless and the Lancome live drummer John Dermody, and also Ruth's partner Cormac McDiarmid of Lancome. They've teamed up to call themselves Pure Creature. They produced this haunting album, All Smiles Tonight, and sadly they can't join us in person this evening, but they have sent us this message.
Dear Youth, we're Pure Creature, and we're so sorry that we can't be there with you in person tonight, but we're really delighted that our album, All Smiles Tonight, has been nominated for the inaugural Folk Album of the Year award.
We recorded this album in the hills above Dublin in a place called Hellfire Studios with our pal Spud. We're really pleased with how it turned out and fairly tickled now that it's landed well with yourselves.
The video that you're about to watch is for a song called All Smiles Tonight, which we learned first from the singing of the great country singer Kitty Wells. We made the video last year between our back garden in the west of Ireland in our coffin-shaped swimming pool and around the bright lights of Las Vegas. We hope you enjoy.
I'll deck my brow with roses, my true love may be there, and gems that others gave me, I'll wear upon my hair, and even though
Yes, the title track of Poor Creature's nominated album, All Smiles Tonight. Will Poor Creature be all smiles tonight when we announce the winner of the Folk Album of the Year? Not long now. Next, we welcome to the stage a duo who met when they were both members of the National Youth Folk Ensemble. Fiddle player Owen Spafford and guitarist Louis Campbell have made an album that truly defies genre. Tomorrow Held incorporates elements of minimalist classical music and mixes them with influences from the pair's folk heritage to create a work that is understated, it is innovative, and it is inspiring. So here to perform music from Tomorrow Held are Spafford Campbell. Spafford Campbell, I have to say that was sublime and a real pleasure to sit and listen to you play that music. Louis, tell me about that piece you just played.
So that tune was called McGill. It's sort of our ode to the music of Jimmy Webb and Glenn Campbell. And it's also dedicated to my grandma called Glenn Campbell. Nice double whammy. And her name's McGill. That's why it's called McGill.
Yeah, I bet you didn't get that from it when you were listening to it, did you? No, I just wanted to point out that reference. Owen, you both met as part of the National Youth Folk Ensemble. So when did it become apparent that yourself and Louis could go on to create music together, to record together and work together?
I think it was just by sort of long stretches of improvising together. We sort of realized we had a bunch of music in common that we liked, and yeah, sometimes you meet people who you connect with musically and socially, and it just works.
Yeah, the deep connections there, and that works for you. And Tomorrow Hell, then, you know, the sound has been referred to as being futuristic. Is the clue in the title? Is that what you set out to achieve?
I guess it's really about just trying to be in a moment, you know. Tomorrow's held off for a second. It's just trying to be, music that's trying to be as dynamic and simple as it can be to hold some time.
Oh, you're most definitely doing that. If the performance this evening is anything to go by, that's for sure. And then with this new sound, the freshness of it, the contemporary path that you're taking, what does traditional music mean to you now, Owen?
I grew up playing traditional music in Leeds, learning from a guy called Des Hurley, and so I kind of learned Irish music, and that was my kind of first love. But I just love a load of music, and I think listening to music all the time, we didn't set out to make something futuristic or a modern contemporary thing or anything. We just thought we'd make music that we both liked.
Yeah, well, it's obviously it's making an impact on other people as well. Thank you very much to both of you. And another track now from Spafford Campbell.
call your mother's on. Blow high blows, and so sail and grow. The old orchard, so cool to green.
That was a track from Spafford Campbell's nominated album, Tomorrow Held. And what a joy it is, what a privilege it is to be surrounded by so much musical talent. Not long to go now before we find out who has won the overall title of Folk Album of the Year 2025. But before that, we have another amazing live performance for you. We welcome to the stage the members of the Gig Spanner Big Band, who've been nominated for their album, Turnstone. And before they play, I'm just going to have a quick word with Peter Knight, who obviously is the man who put the band together. Peter, congratulations on the nomination.
Thank you.
I'm sorry while you're tuning up, interrupting you. And I know that improvisation is a really important thing for you. And could you just talk about the role of improvisation in the way you work as a band?
Well, everyone in this band is up for making it up as you go along. And with improvisation, everyone improvises. All the musicians here, they all improvise, and you can either pick out the good bits and stick to those, or you can just improvise all the time. It depends how far you want to take it. And the bottom line really is that in our case, and everyone here, we all love traditional music. That's what's brought us all together. And you've been part of that, and all the team and everyone has brought people together, and that is folk music, so well done.
Thank you.
Know. So what we have here is we have some arrangement, some improvising. It's the basis of my relationship with music, but the important thing is when you're taking a folk song, is it's the song that's important. So try and retain the integrity of the song. That's where we are with it.
When we spoke about the album, I thought it was really fascinating the way that you recorded it, because it was different from the way some of the other albums we've been hearing tonight were recorded. Can you tell me about how you did it?
We recorded it on a tour, and strangely enough, it was the last gig that was the one that we chose most of the material from. And the reason for that is that recording all the other gigs, we thought, well, we've got it in the bag now. So we just went out and had a nice time. So that's how.
And that was the best one. So you recorded it live, effectively.
Yes, we did. Yeah, but that doesn't. You know, it's the same as studio recording, really, except you're playing live. All the gear is fantastic, so you know there's no loss of quality.
And you have a great chemistry between the different members of the band. You've sort of assembled a kind of super group here, haven't you? Did that start straight away, or did it take time to develop?
Well, it sort of took time to develop, really. How it started, it was the Gig Spanner Trio, and then we heard Phil and Hannah, who were the they were Philip Henry and Hannah Martin then, but they changed. It was too difficult to remember, so they changed their name to Edgelarks. And they guested on a few gigs with us, and I think about 3 gigs. And we just thought we've experienced that, so we can't go back. And then I started working with Squeezy John, and I missed him on the Gig Spanner gigs as well. So Squeezy joined the band, and we've ended up quite, happy campers. Yeah.
Well, let's hear some happy music.
Oh no, these are really miserable.
Oh, they're miserable songs,
yeah,
are they?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
fine, all right.
yeah.
I don't want to get people's hopes
No,
up.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
All
kidding.
right. Peter, congratulations on the nomination.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Gig Spanner Big Band.
Sauve, all on a day she dressed herself in man's array, with a brace of pistols all by her side, to meet her true love, away she ride. As she was galloping over the plain, she spied her true love and bid him stand. Stand and deliver, young man, she said, and if you do not, I'll shoot you dead. He delivered up his golden store, but still she prayed for one thing more. That diamond ring that I see you wear, oh, hand it over, and your life will spare. That diamond ring I will not part, for it's a token from my sweetheart. Shoot and be damned, you all said he, and you'll be hanged for murdering me. Next morning in the garden green, young Solveig and her true love was seen. He spied his watch hanging from her clothes, which made him blush, lads, like any rose. Why do you blush, you silly young thing? I thought to have that diamond ring. It was I who robbed you all on that plain. So here's your gold, love, here's your gold and your watch and chain. I only did it for to know if you would be my true love or no. If you had given me that ring, she said, I'd have pulled the trigger and shot you dead. Oh, there is an ale house in yonder's town where my true love goes and sits him down. Oh, sits that strange girl on his knee, and don't you think that's grief to me? Oh, a grief, and I tell you why. Because she's got more gold than I. The gold will melt and her beauty blast. Oh, but she'll calm down like me at last. Oh, when I wore my apron low, my love followed me through the frost and snow. But now I wear it up to my chin. He passes by and he says nothing. I wish, but all in vain. Oh, I wish I was meet again. But to meet again, I would never more be till apples grow on an orange tree. Oh, there's a bird in yonder's tree. Some say it's blind and it cannot see. Oh, I wish it had up been so by me when first I kept my love's company.
The mighty Gig Spanner Big Band with songs from their nominated album, Turnstone. Well, now we come to the climax of the whole evening. The chair of the jury, Kelly Weil, is back with us, and in a moment we're going to reveal the winner of the title Folk Album of the Year 2025. But Kelly, before you tell us who it is, I think we do want to say, after hearing all these performances tonight, that any one of these albums could have been a winner, couldn't it?
Absolutely, any one of them could. And what we've heard tonight is just a couple of tracks. I mean, the albums in their entirety are all beautiful works of art, and we as a jury would encourage anyone who hasn't heard them in full yet to just go and listen to them all, because they are beautiful things.
So, without more ado, will you tell us who has won the title of Folk Album of the Year 2025?
I would love to. And I'm going to just tell you a couple of things that the jury said about the winning album first. So, this album has a quiet grace that finds its own space and invites you in. And the second one that I loved out of today's discussion was, in a world of chaos, this album shows a way forward, but which is informed by the past. And as it is St. Patrick's Day, I've got a beautiful quote here from the great Irish singer, collector, and lecturer Frank Hart. And I think it just really sums up so much of what we loved about this record, which is, if you want to know the facts, ask the historian. But if you want to know how it felt, you ask the singer. And so, on that note, great quote. It's a pleasure and a privilege to announce that the winner of the Folk Album of the Year is Curlew's Cry by Barry Kerr.
Barry, come on up. Congratulations. Would you like to say a couple of words?
I'm lost for words. I don't know, like, I've been at this game all my life, and I do it because it kind of gets me through life, you know, all the ups and downs. I don't really, when I set out to make the record, I kind of just wanted to settle into myself and sing about what I know and what I love. And thankfully, along the way, I was helped by some amazing people. First and foremost, my wife, my kids, and then I had a great hand with Jerry O'Byrne. I have to mention Jerry's name. Jerry O'Byrne is one of Ireland's greatest guitarists, and his musical integrity brought the album through, and I'm so delighted. And I can't explain. As Lynette will tell you, I'm the worst one for this kind of crack. I usually hide away in the corner and laugh at everybody else, you know. But really, it's what an honour to be in a lineup with such amazing people and great artists. And I can't, you know, I don't know what to say. Thank you very much, let's all have a great night.
Will you play us another song?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, Barry, go and get ready to play us another song. And while you get ready to play again, I'm just going to say a few thank yous. I want to say thank you to our partners in this event, Sound Roots, who've done a brilliant job of putting this event on. Let's say thank you to them. I'd like to thank the Rochdale Development Agency for supporting the award and hosting us in such a magnificent building in their year as Greater Manchester Town of Culture. Thank you to them. Of course, huge thanks go to my co-host, Lynette Fay, who's done such an amazing job. And I think, Lynette, you're going to have a quick word with one of your fellow jurors whilst Barry gets himself set.
I am indeed, Matthew, the unassuming Mark Radcliffe's going to come up to the microphone here, because I think it's been such a brilliant day. It's been such an amazing show, Mark. What's it like, for once in your life, you got to sit and enjoy the whole show?
It's brilliant. I've heard there's an extraordinary
room this. I mean, amazing building. I mean, it is really extraordinary. I've heard extraordinary music. It's St. Patrick's Day. I've been drinking Guinness. I didn't have to do any talking tonight until now. I'm desperately trying to hold it together. But I mean, honestly, I mean, thanks to you guys and to Matthew. I mean, and your crew has been extraordinary. I mean, just turning round all these acts and the sound. And this is it's a beautiful room, but sonically it's a challenging room. And guys, it sounded amazing. So you've done a great job. And also, I'm really pleased to see that Matthew Bannister found himself a career, because when he was head of Radio 1, he was known as the Hatchet Man. He sacked a lot of people. He hired me. To his eternal regret, but I'm glad to see that he's survived and he's still got a career. But you know, you've done an amazing job, and the level of production and all these fancy lights and the graphics. It's been extraordinary. And
I think we've established Mark's on fire tonight, thanks to the Guinness, fueled by Guinness.
Wow. Yeah.
Let's step away from the speaker there, Mark. Yeah. But Barry's getting ready to perform here, and I think it's fair to say that the 9 albums we decided on as jurors, as our nominees for the inaugural Folk Album of the Year, really have proven their worth this evening in the performances here.
I think, you know, it sounds like a cliche, but any of the albums could have won it.
Yeah.
I mean, all the albums that came through on the shortlist were, like, we narrowed it down from, 150 to 9. I mean, it was incredible. I mean, just being here tonight, I don't want to leave anyone out, but I can't mention everybody. I loved what Edith Wyutonga did. I mean, how amazing to come on stage and say, "Don't I look lovely?" And, like, yes, you do. You look probably lovelier than anyone else in this room. And
absolute goddess.
And just to turn up in Rochdale here, I mean, just to be in the space where Peggy Seeger sings "First Time Ever I Saw Your Face." I mean, how do you... I mean, you know, Peggy, I adore you, and the biopic has to be coming, doesn't it, really? It's got... I mean, her story is extraordinary. Yeah, we talked about a lot of records, and it was pretty close, but everybody loved Barry's record, and it has a quiet grace, and also, the thing I wanted to say, I've just remembered, is that today, the oldest curlew in the UK was rediscovered. It was ringed when it was a chick, and they've just rediscovered it today, and it's 33 years old. And I said at the meeting, I said, "Is this an augury?" And it proved to be.
It proved to be. And sitting behind you was the man who was responsible for the album, Barry Kerr, the winner of the Folk Album of the Year 2025. Mark, thank you.
So. To end what has been an absolutely extraordinary evening here in Rochdale Town Hall, I am delighted to welcome back to the stage the winner of the Folk Album of the Year Award 2025, Barry Kerr.
You rambling boys of pleasure, give ear unto these lines I write. Although I am a rover, in rambling I take great delight. I cast my mind on a handsome girl, and oftentimes she does me slight. My mind is never easy, except when my true love is in my sight. Twas down by flowery gardens where me and my true love would meet. I held her in my arms and unto her gave kisses sweet. She bade me take love easy, just as the leaves fall from the trees. But I'd been young and foolish, with my own true love I could not agree. And the second time that I met my love, she swore that her heart was surely mine. But as the season changes, my darling girl has changed her mind. Gold is the root of evil, although it bears a glistening hue. 'Cause as many as are loved and the last to part, with their hearts like mine be there so true. And I wish I was in Belfast town, my own true love along with me, and money in my pocket to keep us in good company. Liquor to be plenty, a flowing glass on every side. Hard fortune would ne'er dawn